Hobart market's actually a bit of an outlier at the moment. Whilst most markets are seeing prices starting to fall, we have seen a slowdown in growth, but it hasn't been to the same magnitude as what we've seen elsewhere. Dwelling values in Hobart rose by 0.1% over the month, and they were 1.4% higher than they were 3 months ago. Over the past 12 months, we've seen values in Hobart rise by 9.3%. This is the strongest rate of growth we've seen in several years in this market. Hobart's one of the few markets where sales volumes are higher than they were a year ago. It's estimated that sales volumes over the last 3 months were 3.5% higher than the same 3-month period last year. The median days on market in Hobart is slightly higher than it was 12 months ago, but still very low on a historic basis. And the rate of vendor discounting has actually reduced from where it was 12 months ago. Hobart is the only capital city in the country, according to SQM research, that has fewer new listings and fewer total listings compared to a year ago. New listings are 5.7% lower than they were 12 months ago, and total listings are down 10.3%. This makes the city a very big outlier, with every other capital city seeing total listings rising and only Sydney seeing an increase in new listings. Rental rates have increased by 8% over the past year. This is one of the stronger rates of rental growth of any capital city and reflects the fact that vacancy rates are pretty close to historic lows in Hobart. Gross rental yields are unchanged over the past year, sitting at 4.3% throughout the city. While there's some signs that maybe the rate of growth in the Hobart housing market is slowing, signals are a bit mixed. We've seen slower rates of price growth over the last couple of months. We're seeing a slight increase in days on market, which is still quite low, but we're seeing vendor discounting reducing, and we're seeing fewer properties coming to the market. So it's really a mixed market, but overall, I would say if you're looking to sell, it's probably one of the best markets in Australia where you can still expect to get a pretty strong price. There's still quite a lot of demand from buyers, and there's not as much stock to choose from as there was 12 months ago. In saying all of that, we're seeing the national trends certainly changing at the moment, and Hobart might start to follow suit over the next few quarters. But at the moment, Hobart is quite a strong market. Affordability is really strong given the underperformance and price growth over recent years. We're seeing the number of properties on the market heading the right way, heading lower, and we're seeing buyer demand holding up quite well. In regional Tasmania, values rose by 0.1% over the past month, and they were 1.8% higher over the last 3 months. Over the past year, values have risen by 12.9%, and it's one of the few markets where that annual rate of growth is still trending higher. The number of sales over the last 3 months is estimated to be marginally lower than it was at the same time last year, 1.3% down. The median time on market has increased by just 3 days compared to a year ago, whilst vendor discounting rates have reduced compared to 12 months ago. Rental growth in regional Tasmania has been quite phenomenal over the past year. Rents are up 10.2% compared to where they were 12 months ago. Rental yields, however, have reduced. They now sit at 4.3% compared to 4.5% at the same time last year. The regional Tasmanian housing market is still relatively strong, a low volume of supply of stock available for sale. We're still seeing quite strong demand from buyers, and this is highlighted by the fact that prices are still rising. We're seeing a low level of stock on the market. Yes, days on market has increased slightly, but discounting rates have actually reduced. What the future holds for regional Tasmania remains to be seen. Obviously, it's been very popular over the last few years, particularly with investors chasing those strong rental returns and low rental vacancies. And we know that the investment market has slowed. So this might be a period where we start to see a bit of a rollover in the market. So if you're thinking of selling, it might be a great time to get your property onto the market now. You're still going to get a very good price. We still know that there's quite a lot of buyer activity out there, and we know that the amount of stock on the market is still quite low.